Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we're going to talk about it. They are trying to keep you poor. Who is they? Well, we're going to talk about that in a second, but not on my watch. This is SSN Nation, ladies and gentlemen. We always have solutions for everything, but you have to know what you're up against before you can make decisions on what to do about it. And we're going to talk about the silent killer today. Please pay attention to this one because you don't want to miss it. And welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, please share the videos because you never know who you're going to be able to help, who's looking for help or who's not looking for help. And this information comes across their desk, so to speak. Now, let's get into it, shall we? Please notice we're here on the Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel page. And you might notice over here on the right-hand side, there's a join button and a subscribe button. Those are two different things. Most of you may have subscribed, but have you joined? This is a financial commitment where members of the channel, which are shown here on this line, here's a few, they're actually here supporting financially. And they also can join me on any live stream if they so choose, because they have a link to come into the live stream. They can also receive one or two videos specifically for them during the month. They receive special messages under this community tab. Everybody can receive messages under the community tab, but then there are messages specifically for members of the channel under this community tab as well. So you want to pay attention to that. And they have special emojis plus other benefits as well. So please share the videos. Let other people know what's going on around here. Now, how are they keeping you guys poor out here? How are they keeping us poor? How are they making it where you have to actually think about having a second, even a third job? That's right. This is incredible. Once you understand the reasons why, you can make twice as much as your parents and still can't make ends meet, and people are living paycheck to paycheck. Let's just look at this. I want to point out something. Normally, I've talked about individual income. This right here that you see on the screen, what was the median household income? That is everybody working in a home. So if you have a mother, a father, and maybe even a younger child that could be 18, 19, 20 still living at home, all those three are combined in household income. But in this case, I will just say we'll go with two adults living in the same house. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. In 2022, last year, $70,000 was the median household income in the United States. This is up from 67,463 in 2020. Now, it's not 10% more. It's not 5% more. It's a little under that. But I just want to point out, this does not mean that it's the median is basically, if we have 200 million people working, they go by the top 200 and then they go to the median, which would be 100. So they look at the 100th person and go, okay, that's $70,000. So that's the median. Average is a different number altogether. You would count up the total amount of money that is made from the 200 million people, and then you would divide it by the 200 million people, all salaries of every individual, then divide it, and then that would be a different number. All right. So median is different. You have to understand this. So $70,000. Let me get you to understand how they're keeping you poor, because if the median household income, whether it's one or two people, is 70,000, you cannot buy a $500,000 home. You cannot buy a $400,000 home, and you probably can't even do a $300,000 home. This also means that if rent costs $2,500 per month, which is $7,500, 7 times 12 is $84,000 annually, you would not qualify. So when rents skyrocket and are over ridiculous amounts of money per month, this is how they keep you poor. And you're thinking, I got to get another job. So when rents are $2,000 per month, you have to make $6,000 per month. That's $72,000. And guess what? You won't qualify because most people have debt. We'll get into that in a second. This is how they're keeping you poor, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is what's happening because of capitalism. And people say, hey, inflation doesn't matter. Some people will say that. We don't say that here in the SSN Nation. So all I'm trying to illustrate here is median household income and the income of individuals is major. So when somebody's not getting paid $40 or $50 per hour, you are behind the 8 ball. So what do you need to do? We always have solutions. You guys know I've been preaching it. You're going to have to get your own business, or better yet, buy an existing business that already has revenues coming in. So that's actually a win potential, better than a startup, because startups fail 9 out of 10 times. What is the average household income? Now, see, this is the difference. Average wise, notice it's $102,000 in 2022. It's up for the average. See, median and average is different. All right. Now, what is the top 1% household income? Remember when I told you guys, most people are out here giving out misinformation. In order to be in the top 1%, you would have had to make $570,000 a year. This right here is staggering. But to be in the top 1%, that means you have to be a superstar. That means you have to be out here buying stocks, securities. You have to have businesses, multiples. That means you generally are going to have to do extraordinary things. You can't just sit there and work somewhere and put money in a 401k, because you're not earning $570,000 a year that way. So therefore, who's earning 570? Again, usually this person is going to be an investor, a person that's in the financial industry field. This person has to have multiple streams of revenue coming in. This is the household that has a lot of business activity going on coming into the household. So that gives you an idea. So don't fool yourself and listening to people when they go, oh, the average wage for people in America is like $40,000, $45,000. This is true. This is true, but where can you live if you make $45,000? This is how they keep you poor, because you're sitting there being happy with $15, $20, $25, $30, $35 per hour, and not realizing after they take away 20% of that, you're sitting there going, wait a minute, I don't have enough money. If you're making $30 per hour, 40 hours a week, that's $1,200 a week. You're thinking that's pretty good money. Well, this ain't 2000. This is 2023. So now you're only making $4,800 per month. You take out 20%, you're making $4,000 per month. Guess what? You divide that by 3, that's $1,300 for an apartment. You divide that by 35%, and you can only afford a certain price point to buy a home. So once again, where are you going to live to buy a home and make that kind of money? Nowhere. You're locked. Now you have to have roommates or somebody else to be with you in order to make things happen. They're going to keep you poor this way, because why would they want to give you a $50 an hour job, a livable wage, $45 an hour job? No, that's not the way it works. So here we go. Just so you understand, this isn't coming out of my mouth. Sometimes I have to show you guys that what I say is not just thrown out of thin air. This is actually what's been going on since the last 200 years in America. But now it's getting worse, because after you devalue the dollar because you print up so much of it, here's what the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, they wrote this in 2009, not 2020 or 2023, 2009, they write this. How many people are looking at the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis notes and information, the stlouisfed.org? How many people's reading that in reality? Who cares, right? The people that are making money, they're not looking at this. The people that aren't making enough money to make ends meet, they're not looking at this either. But look at what they wrote in 2009. They're just telling you the facts. If the government prints too much money, people who sell things for money raise the prices for goods and services and labor. This lowers the purchasing power. Notice, lowers the purchasing power and value of the money being printed. In fact, if the government prints too much money, the money becomes worth less. So in essence, as each year goes by and the governments around the world prints up money, guess what's happening? It's costing you more money. So if you did not get a raise of 5 to 10%, then you are behind because items cost more than they did previously because they have been printing money the whole year, devaluing the currency. This is just basics 101. So if you don't understand this part, then you're going to be sitting at your job not going, hey, man, I better get a second job, or I better get extra streams of revenue coming in here. I have to be all business now. I have to be CEO of my life. I better start getting extra revenue. That's what you have to do. That's why we have SSN Nation. That's why we have SSN Lifestyle. This is why we advocate to get you to start your own business and using Opus Virtual Office as a virtual office that is not your home, so that way you won't have a problem with another entity that's trying to take your money, the IRS. All right? You don't want to run afoul of that scenario. So again, these are the things, and they spell it out for you. I'll have a link down below if you actually want to read this from 2009. The same thing's going on. Nothing has changed. They don't care about you. The rich are getting richer. The poor are getting poorer. The middle class is getting wiped out. And here's another reason. I'm just putting in right here, officialdata.org, CPI inflation calculator. And look at here, the dollar in 1990. This is just the last 30 years, rough, 27 years. 33 years, sorry. Look at what's happened here. So if in 1990, let's just say you were making $15 per hour in 1990. The 1990, it cost you now $2.27 to buy the same thing that you could buy in 1990. What that means is 127% increase. That means I have to not only make $30 an hour, but add another 27% on top of that. So now I got to make roughly $37 an hour to buy the same thing that I could buy in 1990. How many people have gotten a raise over the course of 30 years, twice what they were making when they started? And then some. Twice, not only twice, but twice and another quarter. So if you were making $40 an hour in 1990, well, you would have been very, very well off. But the fact of the matter is you're not going to be making $100 an hour now. That's not how employers work. So I let you see right here, they have the average inflation at 2.52%. So if you don't get a raise every year of 3%, then guess what? You're living paycheck to paycheck. At least 3%. Sure, some employers give you 3%, but guess what? That's just staying even. And guess what else? They raise their cost of their goods more than 3% because they have to pay you 6%. Well, I shouldn't say 6%, but they're going to have to pay you 3% for sure. And then your FICA costs more. So now the employer also has to pay part of your FICA. They pay basically 50% of your FICA. Whatever your FICA is, that's how much the employer is paying. So if they give you a raise, FICA's raised as well. So it's not just simply they gave you 3%. They actually gave you more than 3% when you, well, at least the cost to the employer. So that means they can't raise their prices just 3%. They have to raise it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9% or more just to stay level. And why be in business if you just have to stay level? So therefore, the consumers have to pay more. Again, are you getting it yet, ladies and gentlemen? And now here's the ramification from it, because credit cards are out here. Household debt soars at fastest pace in 15 years as credit card use surges, Fed report says. This is November 15, 2022. All right? That's not all. So you know household debt increased the fastest pace in 15 years. How about this? The credit card balance collectively rose more than 15% from the same period. The largest annual jump in more than 20 years. I'll have this down below as well. What do you think you need to do, ladies and gentlemen? You think you just need to go work a job? You think you need to get a second job? Well, guess what? That second job is going to actually be outperformed by the inflation and printing of money. You're going to have to get a third job. You can't stay ahead unless your employers are sitting there going, hey, man, we're going to give you an extra 5% raise every year you're here. Because every time they do not, that means you're negative 5%. That means everything costs you 5% more. Are you getting this yet? Make comments down below and let me know, are you getting it yet? Please let me know. All right? So I'll have a link down below to this so you can read this as well. And I'm not going to make this too much longer. I just want you guys to understand how they're keeping you poor. If you know how they're keeping you poor, and then you know on the flip side, all right, I need to get busy here. I can put money in a 401k. I can put money. I know I'm going to get a pension fund allegedly when I retire. Some of you are saying pension funds, they're underfunded. You will not get paid. Some people will not be getting paid. The Social Security, we have one party that's sitting here trying to make it where you have to approve the Social Security payouts every year. You have the other party who's going, man, what are you doing? That's people's money. So people are voting for the party that says we want to take Social Security private. Are you really good with some government officials taking your money private instead of setting it aside, calling them entitlements? You worked for your entitlement money. And you guys are out here voting for these guys who want to take your money that you're sweating 40, 50, 60 hours a week for every week for 20, 30, 40 years, at least 40 quarters to qualify for. And that's 10 years. And you're sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm going to vote for these guys who want to take our Social Security and go play with it. Just like a bank plays with your deposits. Just like the hedge fund goes and plays with your money. Just like Madoff went and played with their money. Just like Sam Bankman-Fried went and played with people's money for crypto uses. You want people to allow them to use your money and go play with it and then talk about, oh my God, we lost it all because we took high risk? Wake up, Americans. You better get your own businesses in order. And I will say one other thing, because let's call it what it is. This is SSN Nation. We're talking about you better have business interest outside of the United States. United States has the world currency. We are now $31 trillion in debt. Actually, it's more than that. All right. This is even a Fox event. They're coming out because they know people aren't reading this. Look at all this advertising and all this crap on the page. They know nobody's coming over here and realizing, what do you mean the United States is 31 trillion in debt? What are you talking about? Here it is. The U.S. has about 31 trillion in national debt. All right. The total already has reached past 31 trillion. Now, 24 trillion of America's total public debt outstanding consists of debt held by the public. Everybody on podcast, are you hearing this? Are you not understanding? You are under a ticking time bomb. They are crushing the middle class. You may make 70, 80, 90, $100,000 a year, but you're still being crushed. So you need to start putting your money into assets that pay you. All right? It's that simple. Now, out of that 6.6 trillion is intra-governmental holdings. All right. Now, you guys know the government does not actually tell the truth, right? You know that they're using this $31 trillion because that's a trackable number that they're giving out there. You know, when somebody says, we're going to give you $7.5 trillion in tax cut, tax breaks, clearly that's $7.5 trillion of debt that just occurred. When somebody says we're going to give electric vehicles up to $7,500 tax credit, you as a taxpayer is paying that. Do you understand? All right. Just so they can buy more vehicles that are worthless. But yet you're the one that's paying that $7,500 tax credit to buy an electric vehicle. I thought we were in a capitalist society. How come they don't lower the price $7,500 on the car? Why do you need my $7,500 of taxes to help you out? Guess we're not in a capitalist society, are we? And guess who benefits from this? The rich get to keep benefiting while you go in debt to buy one of these overpriced vehicles. So what does that tell you? That should tell you you might want to start thinking maybe it's not the best idea to walk around with awesome jewelry that's wasted. Maybe it's not the best time to think about, I'm going to go buy this car because I love the way it looks. Maybe you just want to be able to get to point A to point B. Maybe you just want regular clothes. It doesn't have somebody's name on it that you're paying 1,000% more just because it has someone's name on it that you have never met and don't know. Now, I've been on here long enough. What are you going to do about it, ladies and gentlemen? I know what I'm doing about it. It's not on my watch. You guys got to show up for the live streams. You guys got to listen to the videos. You guys have heard already, we have millionaires coming in 2 years because they bought pre-construction property 2-3 years ago, even right now in Punta Cana. They're buying properties for $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. It's going to be double the value in a few years. You have people out here who have started their business, whether it's trucking, whether it's some financial industries, who's also making 6 figures, up to 7 figures, because they're sitting here saying, hey, you know what? That's right, Eric. You told me to start a business. You told me to buy a business. And now that's what I'm doing. We have people who wanted to get loans for real estate, but they didn't have the rehab money. They sent me a message. They said, hey, Eric, man, I don't have the money. It's going to cost me $300,000, and after rehab, it's going to cost us. This property is going to be worth $1.5 million. We get them people that can give them loans. You're not giving me any money for a course. You're not giving me any money, no consulting fees, no nothing, because I want you to win. Now, we're calling this Stop Struggling Now. I call it that. And F average, be legendary means you have to do that. You can't sit there and hem and haw because you're getting, as you have every bit of your money sitting in a bank right now, you might wake up tomorrow and you might be a Bank of America, a Wells Fargo member, and you found your money's gone. You might be like Usain Bolt, who had 12 point something million dollars in a, well, let's just call it what it is, a famous bank, and his money's gone. Again, you're going to keep giving your money to these same people that are in debt. They're using your money to make more money, and they're giving you kibbles and bits. Some of you right now have 401ks. Some of you have your money into real estate investment trusts, and they're giving you 5% annual. Ladies and gentlemen, half of your money's gone because inflation is over 2%. What good is 2% annually going to do? You're behind the 8 ball. Year after year, if you're getting 5% or less, you're behind the 8 ball. You're not catching up. You're putting money, giving money to somebody. You need it to be 10%, 15%, 20% needs to come back to you. And guess who gets to get those? The people you're giving your money to for the 401k. The people you're giving your money to. When you say, hey, here, put your money into this REIT. Put your money into whatever other project that says we're going to give you 5%. They can take your money, turn around, and just put it into a dividend stock that gives them 10%, like a JEPI, JEPI, which actually is 11%. So you get a statement that says, oh, guess what? You earned 5.5% this year on your money. Meanwhile, they're getting 11.78% on their money, and they're getting the other difference. But you're all happy and giddy. You better start becoming the CEO of your life, ladies and gentlemen, because this year, the Fed might have saved the economy. They might have done the unthinkable. Unbelievably, they may have staved off having a housing meltdown. At the same time, they might have been able to stave off having to raise interest rates a lot higher due to their fake inflation numbers. And if they do that, and now there will be a run up on the stock market where 89% of the stock market is owned by the top 10% of the wealthiest people. Therefore, you need your money in there. You get to ride. Tesla recently, $106, $7 a share is now up to $175. It's going to be up to $200 in 4 days when the market's open. Within the next 2 or 3 days, it'll be $200 a share. Can you understand? We were sitting here in the SSN Nation telling people once it went under 140, that's in the buy zone. So if you would have bought at 110, which was in the buy zone, and it goes to 200, you damn near doubled your money and you didn't do nothing. Yes, it's at the stock. It could be Robinhood or Webull. Get your free shares of stock. The link is down below. It could be down there with those companies. But the fact of the matter is you damn near doubled your money in less than a month. The best amount of increase that Tesla has had on their stock since May of 2013. That's because they believe. And who's they? The government, the wealthy. They believe that the feds have saved their asses again. And you could have went along for the ride. And that's why we talk about the assets that pay us. That's why we talk about get the same assets that the top 1%ers, the top 10%ers have. And I'm going to close this out now because here we're back on the SSN Nation screen. But I just want to close this out and say, you guys, this is very serious about what's going to happen. Because if you don't get your act together this year and this economy goes on a run like it's never seen before, those who don't have their fingers, their money in the pies of the stock market, in the real estate game, you are going to be left behind. And especially if you don't even have a business of some sort or have invested in a business, because all of it's going to run up, and it's going to run up faster than you can get paid from a job. So you're not going to be able to keep up. So some of us are going to be riding with these 100%, 200%, 300% increases while you're still making $30, $40 per hour thinking you're living the high life, but you're getting buried in reality because we're making 300-400% on our money. Do you understand this? I hope you guys get this. If you don't, pay attention. Another video is going to be dropped, and we're going to be talking about making money like Miracle Cash and more, because we're going to invest. We're going to take chances. We're going to take chances on NFTs. We're going to take chances on NFTs that are backed by real businesses, and those businesses are saying, we're going to give you part of our profit. All right? We're taking those chances. If you haven't heard about it, go down below and check out Miracle Cash and More. There's a YouTube video below that link. And that link for Miracle Cash and More takes you to Cashflow NFT website. You can sign up as a free affiliate, try and sponsor other people, and you receive commission. That's how you can pay for that NFT, by the way. We have our SSN lifestyle. We have our group economic plan, just like at the Shark Tank. That's what we have, Ring of Fire. You want to get in on the $5,000 NFT where these guys are paying us every month, commission starting in March? You want to get in on this? Because they're a business, they get to charge more money as inflationary pressures come into play. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we're not trying to leave you left behind. Not on my watch. I'm getting you at all the top dog stuff. We have people who are going to be millionaires in 2 years due to real estate investing because they invested in Punta Cana, like I mentioned earlier. All right. So all I can tell you is Emerging millionaires reside here. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, but that's why I had to bring this out, because you guys already know there's lots of people telling you they're trying to keep you poor. But what are they trying to do? What, sell you a book, sell you a course, and say, oh, look at this? What are they trying to do for you? They're giving you actual stock advice or stock symbols that shows you this company gives you 12% annually, 15% annually, 10% annually. Are they giving you that information? Are they giving you information where you can actually get loans to actually fund some business ventures that you want to do? Are they helping you with that? No. They're charging you fees for their courses. They're charging you fees to come ride along with me on a jet. Some of y'all might know who I'm talking about. I'm trying to figure out, why am I paying somebody thousands of dollars to ride along on a jet when I can easily just fly over to the damn places that they're talking about going to find real estate? Don't get me upset up in here. You guys are being played out here. Stop being played. Your money is more valuable than you think. It's imperative. You can't sleep anymore. You can't just play around anymore. You have to be something that you're not, a business person for yourself. You can no longer just rely on your bosses, your company, to just make good when you retire. You're going to have to depend on yourself. And Social Security, by the way, as Victor Marrero pointed out on our last live stream, 2034, it's going to run out. Then what? It's already low enough, but if you're not even going to have a safety net, such as $500, $1,000, $1,500, whatever the case, $2,000 per month coming in from that, you don't have a pension because the pension was stolen, underfunded, it blew up, and then you don't have business or already have set ways to get your passive income coming in, guess what? You're a casualty. And this is a reason why homelessness in America has skyrocketed. Because who can afford $1,800 a month? You have to make over 60 G's a year. The average income for most people in America is $45,000. So that leaves them out. Where are they going to live? Family, friends, on the street. Don't get caught up. Don't get left behind. And it's not on my watch. It's not for a lack of trying. Hey, the YouTube gods, the YouTube Googles, YouTube is not promoting my videos. I wonder why. Because we empower you here, ladies and gentlemen. You want some more empowerment? Using your money to make more money? Then I suggest you watch some more videos. Check out some of the past videos. And please join us on the live streams, because we have comments and they're live. You can ask anything you want. You can get help. We have people here that's kind enough to sit there and actually give you information. I don't know every damn thing, but we have some other entrepreneurs, business owners, people who are doing the damn thing out here in our comment sections, watching the live streams, helping you out at no additional cost whatsoever. It's the No Guru Zone here. SSN Academy, free. SSN University, free. The No Guru Zone, free. And with all that said, keep your head up. Keep moving, and I'm out.